that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with Steel Sharpened Steel after dark.
Oh, welcome to Steel Sharpened Steel After Dark. I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm Chuck Hobbs.
I'm Sharon Littman Litt.
And I'm Joy Stevens.
So what are you sipping on, Miss Letman Litt?
I have Miss Butterworth mixologist at my home tonight.
I see an orange peel up in. Is that a tropical drink?
Honey, this is a fancy drink.
It looks fancy.
This is a fancy drink.
It looks extra fancy.
We double vaxxed and we sisterhood in the night.
Listen, I am 2 shots in 2 weeks up in this beer. I am 100%. 2 shots, 2 weeks. I am ready.
I think
Alrighty.
you had some of my drink before you got on this show.
I did not, but I will tell you that it is like a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders because I was always being very protective anyway. I wasn't, unmasking or anything like that. But to have that, like that shield where like I'm not afraid of people coughing and stuff anymore. I just look at you like,
I'm still afraid of that. I'm still afraid of that.
I can do the side eye, but I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid anymore. All right, Anthony Turner, turn up. Turn her up.
It's a whole lot of felt
Sharpies, if any of us sound too loud, let us know, please.
Oh, Joy just has a regular old Coke Zero. Look at that.
Child, she know how to put. Yeah, see, that ain't even possible. I've been dry for about 2 months, and I'm 8 weeks double vaxxed.
Oh, so yeah, you got the whole thing. I decided
I need to celebrate tonight.
I don't blame you. I got my vax too. All my girls are coming in town on Sunday, and the plan is wine, dark liquor, Oreos, French fries, cake, popcorn, and fuckery. It's gonna be great.
Listen, I don't know if any of you who are watching tonight happened to take a gander at my Time is Talking that I posted this morning about Philip Ashley and the gargantuan kaiju-sized turtles that he is shipping. He has sold out again, but they are delicious. Them turtles are about this big. And there are 3 different flavor combinations. There's regular milk chocolate.
Oh, you're talking about chocolate turtle.
Yeah, chocolate turtles. There's blonde, and then there's dark chocolate. I see, because you got the orange peels. That triple sec kind of rides on the orange peel a little bit. But they are delicious. Philip Ashley, chocolates in your Googlage, and you can get them shipped. They are a treat. It is too late for Mother's Day, but people who love your moms, get her something for next week. And it's a stimulus check size chocolate now. It is not like the leftover Reese's candy, them Reese's eggs from Easter. It's not that.
Don't be sleeping on the Kroger sale on them day-old eggs for Easter.
Oh no, them eggs are the bomb. I'm just saying these Philip Ashley chocolates are not that. These are some bougie chocolates, but they are delicious. This is the Black Willy Wonka, y'all, like straight up. He does magic.
Why you selling recipes? Mrs. Butterworth, I need you to drop the recipe for the Sharpies so they can indulge in what we're indulging in. So she gonna drop the triple sec gin, rum, vodka recipe with the orange peel. With a
triple sec gin, rum, and vodka. Whoa! All right, that's a Mai Tai. She taking slow sips. Look at you going ahead.
This is the second glass she done made.
So, y'all, I can't wait for about 30 minutes from now when Sharon gets turned all the way up and start cussing at people. Let's try it.
Okay, we gotta put
it's Mother's Day weekend.
It is Mother's Day weekend.
You're about to be the mother of all luscious up in this piece.
Mothers turn up.
Okay, it's 8:47 on the East Coast. 8:47. Y'all remember that time? Matter of fact, I'm gonna type it in here.
8:47.
My mixologist about to drop the recipe in there for y'all.
Countdown to lit.
She wanted the top Sharpies. She wanted top Sharpies.
Yeah, she put 8:40. She sure did put 8:47 in there. It's all over the place. I felt on another level with the second shot. Oh, did we put up Anthony's message? That one. The distance and say mass. That's right.
That's my thing. It's like, yo, I'm feeling good. I got my vax. Like if y'all didn't catch a Saturday Night Live skit where they talked about the old people getting the vax and how they was out here cutting up in Cancun.
Lit.
That's lit. I'm about to be lit.
Yeah, the boomers. Boomers got the vax.
I went through.
Now, I need to give y'all this. I need to give y'all this post-vaccine recipe.
Yeah,
your girl calls and says, because it was storming in Tallahassee on Cinco de Mayo, so we just making up for it tonight. So we had a choice. We could have went to Pepper's Chuck
That's
before, and we were like, she's a diehard Sharpie. I have to be on the show. We didn't want to have to struggle to get back and rush back. So she calls and she gets the food order. Then she detours the food order and goes and gets something else that I wish she would have just got for both of us one time. But the whole time she's planning her mixology session.
Right.
So she walks up in here with a trunk size full of mixology equipment and the bags of our food. So we have the dinner, we have the first drink, and then it's prep time for Queen Sharpie and then one of the co-hosts. Then she pre-makes my second one. We put it in the freezer. So this is called Sister Girl Weekend. This when your road dog, this when you know your Biff is in the house, right? So we get it pre-made. We got the glass chilling, and I'm not allowed to take it out until I'm in pre-prep with y'all. And she over there across the room with her earbuds to respect that I need the volume, and the bar is fully stocked.
Okay.
So I have, the mixologist prep machine ready. And we wish we could drop it off. So then she's going to drop the recipe in for the rest of y'all to join us in the future.
So,
wait. Type a little slow.
Yeah, I heard you, Carla. This is the sequel to Girls Trip. This is the sequel. This is called Girls Lit.
Yes.
This
is called COVID Cocoon.
There you go.
Thank you, Harry.
COVID.
There it is.
Welcome back. Oh, that's right. It is a welcome back. So this is your welcome back. That's why you get to be so saucy and sassy.
Right. I wasn't here last week. Oh, that's
no,
right.
You remember you had the Mother's Day thing with Nalo.
I do.
Nalito.
I do.
Well, folks, let's go on ahead and get started with this foolishness because that's what you came here for. We were giving you some preamble foolishness, and it has definitely set the tone. I am pleased. Let's talk about the first thing that is on my mind this week, and that is that orange clown and his description of his quote-unquote new platform. I'm not putting the link up, but here's a sample. The fake news media, working in close conjunction with big tech and the radical left Democrats, is doing everything they can to perpetuate the term the big lie. When speaking of 2020 presidential election fraud, they are right that the 2020 presidential election was a big lie, but not the way they mean. I can't even do it anymore. He said he was going to drop a new platform. Folks thought he might try to buy out Parler. With what? Was my question. Mm-hmm. Because we showed you several weeks ago that Trump Force One is in mothballs. They covered up the damn jets with some plane-sized pasties over the jets because you can't even fly it anymore. It's so ratchet on some New Jersey airfield. So they thought, he's going to do his own new thing, and his own new thing is going to set him up, and it's going to beat Twitter, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And what does this fool come out with? A blog.
I don't think I don't think he even knows it's a blog. I think he thinks he has a
Because he
website.
can't write.
No, it is a website. It's a website on DonaldJTrump.com. But this from the desk of...
Yeah, he thinks that he has a platform like Facebook. He doesn't
Right.
understand the difference. It's like when you give like an old person like an iPad and tell them that it's a computer or whatever, and they just be touching it. You know, like that's what they've done to him.
Well,
they're giving him blocks to play with.
And here's the funny thing. Some person, Jason Miller, tried to repost his posts from the desk by creating a Facebook profile or a Twitter profile called Facebook Donald J. Trump Desk. And it was retweeting the posts from his desk blog onto Twitter. And Twitter said, no, ma'am. When you're banned, you are banned. You can't just be somebody posting tweets on his behalf, especially using his name. No. And so they shut down that account with the quickness. And he says you can share those tweets. But one thing you'll notice if you decide to go over to that pathetic blog is that there are no replies. There are also no share counts and no like counts. So you can share to Twitter or you can share to Facebook, but there are no comments. So you see these little icons. Unlike on a regular social media site, there's not a single one of these posts that has a ticker on the Facebook, the tweet, or the like. It's just stream of consciousness foolishness with him yelling and screaming into the void.
Wait. But I used to have a blog back in the day when, you know, we won't talk about it because I got a brand now. But I used to have a blog back in the day that you could leave comments under it on any what was it called? WordPress?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he doesn't even have the functionality of WordPress.
Oh, no. I don't think he wants to allow people to leave replies because the left, the big lie, he would be trolled. And he can't stand being trolled. And so somebody told him, look, if you open it up to comments, anybody's going to be able to comment. And we're going to have to be fishing these comments off all day.
Right.
You're going to have to pay some staff people to do that. He was like, I'm not paying anybody.
And let me be clear. There's probably now a full-time desk person at Facebook and a full-time desk person at Twitter that every time he posts, they go to the filter, they paste it saying block this message.
Right.
So no one gets to share it all day long. Everybody's got content unavailable.
So you know somebody at Twitter and at Facebook just playing whack-a-mole all day. No. I see you.
No.
Insane that is. Do you understand how insane that is?
But I was just looking at
he's creating jobs. Didn't he tell us he was going to be creating jobs? He has given 2 jobs to 2 people.
King Troll.
Yes.
Yeah. The visual part of it was no good to me either. Like when Tom was posting that earlier this week, I was just sitting there thinking like, geez, this takes me back, Tom, to 2005, 2006, the original NukeNet. And not even.
Wait, y'all, this is one step above those people in the purple pajamas and the Nikes that killed themselves.
Yeah.
That is one step beyond that website. This is a white page with his posts. That's all it is. And of course, fundraising. So you can donate.
Yeah, that's
this
really
is a brother word processor.
And that's all that matters is the link that you can put your credit card on. I mean,
that's the only thing.
Yeah, let's not act like, this guy really cares about enlightenment or policy debates or discussions. It's really, my mom used to joke back in the day that when Michael Jackson was the height of his popularity, that he could just record an album where he's just saying he, and people will go buy it. Back in 83, 84, that's pretty much what it is with him now. All Trump has to do is put a little black and white in the paragraph, and I guarantee you he banked out.
Let me preempt that statement.
Come on.
Non-black people.
Right. Non-black people. Right.
Because we don't take that. We don't do that.
Right. No.
We love you, kiss all, and the minute you slip up,
and do something whack, you gonna know.
Trash. That's just some straight up trash.
No, you fixing to know. Speaking of people who Trump is not paying, Rudy Giuliani, he might gonna have to pawn that pinky ring he got because the bills are racking up, and he's like, hello, I kind of need some payment for that 6 months of legal work I was doing on your behalf.
No habla inglés. Donald Trump is not here.
New phone, who dis?
That's the one right there. That's the one. But you gotta know, like, that he's not loyal, right? I mean, if at the end of the day, the way he did Mike Pence, like for all of the things we've discussed that went wrong from 2017 to January of this year, the way, man, if you're gonna do your vice president, your loyal, your most loyal sycophant like that at the end, man, there's whatever, dude. So it's kind of funny to me to see, like, he's not gonna pay for your lawyer bills. He doesn't really care. It is what, man. Poor Rudy. He got conned. That's pretty much all it is.
Look, Chuck. All seriousness, everybody. Wouldn't y'all like to have been standing outside of Rudy's house,
bruh,
when the FBI showed up?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we think we watching a reality show. I know we think we're watching FBI Most Wanted on the TV. That's the real FBI. And as someone who has experienced an FBI knocking on your door, right, for an inquiry, it's a whole different story when they show up with a search warrant and say, get out the way.
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine a former sitting district attorney having, what could they, Chuck Hobbs, what could they possibly have on Rudy to clear a search warrant?
Right.
To his crib.
Right.
And his office. If you don't go down, Rudy, you ain't got no choice but to dime out on Trump, because your number has come up.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
Your lottery ticket has been pulled.
And I want to hit this comment again because Emma was like, the attorney went to Trump for help, and Trump was like, let me look into it. But you got to think about this. That's not even in his own best interest. He's got somebody that knows all your dirt, and they are facing federal charges. You might want to at least get a lawyer to try to help them out, but he thinks that he can distance himself for it, not understanding you leave Giuliani out to dry, he's gonna squeal like a pig, and it's gonna be over.
Listen, I'm waiting on the Sharpie. I'm waiting on a Sharpie to edit the footage of that FBI raid with Ludacris's "Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way, bitch, get out the way, move, bitch." I mean, somebody needs to do that because honestly, it is giving me life. And to your point, he's going down. He's going down, and Trump's coming to town, baby. And it's not going to be pretty because all these people, it is amazing to me how Trump has been kind of wavering in and out. Like on January 7th, you had Mitch McConnell talking trash, and on the impeachment on the 20th, Mitch McConnell's talking cash shit, calling him everything but a child of God. Kevin McCarthy out there saying he's responsible, blah, 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 blah. But what happened is that Trump's numbers didn't go down.
That's crazy.
And all of their numbers did go down. Now, they have gone down a little bit, but not with the base. And so you can't talk trash about Trump anymore. So that's why we have a situation where Republicans who actually had a conscience and did what their constitutional duty actually required of them are in the crosshairs. And the number one target to Trump, and you can read it on his desk blog, is this one right here. Now,
My girl.
Listen, she is giving us Daenerys Targaryen realness with that hair color, and then she is ready to hop on that dragon at Drogon and go through Washington D.C. with that just burning it all to the ground because she cannot believe that these folks are clowning her. And Kevin McCarthy on a hot mic talking, I mean, trash.
Look,
I'm sick of her.
Say about her.
Go on ahead, say it.
Look, thank you, Nikki. Don't y'all wonder what Daddy Dick's sitting around doing?
See?
You messing with baby girl. Mm-hmm. You messing with baby girl. And I just can't imagine baby girl pulling them swords like that without Daddy Dick in the background handling his business.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you not to refer to him that way again, please.
Daddy
Dick.
Dick.
Gonna keep saying it now.
Excuse me. Daddy Dick is awfully quiet. W done stepped out there and made a little comment. To me, that's like this.
Gabriel, blow the trumpets.
And I can't wait for that secret ballot. Because I've been wrong before, not often. But I'd be surprised if that thing don't get reversed. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not convinced that she just out there blowing her trumpet by herself.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
I feel that there's people in the background that's like, keep it up. You can go on, you can say whatever you want, baby Cheney. You are doing it for my 5 grandchildren. I didn't even know she had any kids, much less 5. All I'm saying is,
she has 5 kids?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How many of them are human?
And all I got to say is, she doubled down. I mean, she kowtowed and went and supported him over some foolishness after the insurrection, even though she stood her ground. So all I'm trying to say is,
Daddy Dick, though. Okay.
Daddy Dick, that's his name, and he her daddy. So it's Daddy Dick. And I got to say, look, we done got a mixologist showdown. Nikki Hatter Shedrick done put up her own recipe.
Oh, snap.
So all you other mixologists, drop your drink. Because this is an after dark.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Does Carla have a name for that concoction that you're sipping on right now?
She actually got it from one of your Alpha Z brothers.
Okay.
From a Conversation and Cocktails.
Okay.
That he created for the sorors.
Okay.
And she gonna drop the name of the drink. She probably had to look it up. Back to Daddy Dick.
Well, first of all, let me just say that sounds like the AVN award winner for Best Duo Performance coming to you in spring 2022 in Las Vegas. But I have to agree, there's something going on. Cheney is, them Cheneys, them some devious people.
The man shot somebody in
the face.
You think and then that dude apologized. Somebody wrote that.
Yeah, he apologized.
And the dude apologized after he shot him in the face. I'm sorry, I put my face in front
of your buckshot.
Right.
Yeah.
And Daddy, said, I'm sorry I tried your daughter, Daddy Dick. And he gonna say bow down and call me Daddy Dick.
Oh, you know what?
Thank you, Jay Nice.
We edited that from the final. She just say bow down and call ma'am.
Sharpies.
I am unable to stand at this moment.
Sharpies, I need you to get my co-host. The man name is Cheney, and he her daddy. He's Daddy Dick.
I mean, you can't argue with that. All I will say is that I am looking for
triple sec either.
I'm looking for the official cocktail of the Sharpie. So if it's between Nikki and Carla, we're gonna have to have you all vote. Make these drinks after the show. And let's have a vote next week for what the official Sharpie drink is gonna be. Because if it's the Carla or it's the Nikki, one of these drinks is going to be the Sharpie.
Is new partial. So
What?
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
Okay, just so we're clear.
Right. If y'all ain't on next week, what did he say? No, we're fine. Facebook lets a whole lot of stuff go on. We'd have to actually storm the Capitol apparently
I'm
and get
so
kicked
sorry.
off Facebook.
Right?
About Dick Cheney still?
No, we're not.
The man's name.
It is, yeah, but we're good. He named it Country Crafts 19 is his IG. He
I
named
want
it
all y'all to inbox me an apology.
No.
When Dick
Oh,
Cheney-
Stacy is asking for merch. We got to come up with some merch.
I asked you for the logo a few days ago. I was trying to be surprisery.
I'm sorry.
You too busy sweating the wrong factor.
Okay.
Sweat me.
All right.
Hey, Sharpies. Y'all ever been in the room at the family reunion where like the old folks got to drinking and you just sit back and watch what they do and watch them get mad and put a knife on each other? That's how I feel right now. It's 9:07. We 30 minutes in on sharing. We're gonna see what we get. About 15 minutes. It's about to pop off at the here.
Just pull up Granddaddy Switchblade.
Yeah. It's a shank. It's a shank. I'm gonna shank you.
Come on, Cletus. You walk over, but you limp back. That's any minute now.
God.
Right.
So here we are. Sharon is on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're counting. It's a full hand. It's a full hand count.
I have a chaperone here.
Yeah, you do have a chaperone. Carla, get your girl now. Not Grandpa Tom. I done told y'all children about running around my house.
I'm just sitting here like.
So
Behaving.
behaving.
Staying out of grown folk business.
I know, right?
Stay out of grown folks' business. One of the things, this is for you, Joy, because this is something that you threw into the mix. Why don't you throw up your yellow clothed picture from the brand? Next story. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms won't run for re-election. This is Rattler news. We got 3 Rattlers on the screen. Keisha and I were in school at the same time. We weren't classmates, but we were occupying the campus simultaneously, and that's the homie. We're not going to drop no dirt.
I don't have any dirt. Like
Ain't no dirt.
there's nothing.
That's right.
That is our soror.
There's nothing,
Exactly.
There's nothing negative to be said other than
Exactly.
I think at least Fulton County is sad in the mug. Like, oh, Keisha, don't do us like that, baby girl. Why you ain't gonna come back with us, Keisha? Because we're gonna miss her. She had the support.
Oh, she
She
did.
had the support.
Oh,
It
she
has
broke
to
down her
be
stat. She
some
broke
other
down her
reason.
stats.
And if there were a
press
scandal
conference.
to be found, similar to with Obama, if there was a scandal to be found on Keisha, Kemp would have found that shit by now. So
Oh,
I
for
don't
real.
think that's it. I think
Yeah.
she got.
Thank you,
Look,
Nikki.
she said
I
she
got
got
my bet.
What?
I got my bet on her running for governor if there's some background conversations or Congress. But all I know is she controlled her narrative today. And that baddest sister, as in Beta Alpha chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated,
Yeah,
she
that-
held her own.
Yeah, there's only
Oh,
one D.
I'm so sorry. My name is signed on her membership.
Well, that's true.
Let me be clear.
That's true.
Okay.
And there's only one D and no E in that baddest, just in case you were wondering. If you aren't from FAMU, maybe you don't know, but all of the Deltas from the Beta Alpha chapter of Delta Sigma Theta, they know how to spell baddest, and it does not have an E in it.
No.
At all. So just get it together. Get yourself together.
She
on that
controlled
one.
that narrative
All Family
today.
knows, all of Florida knows, most of Georgia knows, half of
I know that's
Tennessee
right.
know, all Alabama know. Everybody
Did
knows
she
Beta
walk
Alpha.
out with a FAMU
The real
mask?
Beta
I think
Alpha.
she walked out with a FAMU jeweled mask.
All I have to say is Keisha Lance Bottoms. My mayor's name is Keisha, and started from the bottoms. Now we're here. All of that. You could not have a prouder group of supporters. I mean, except those who are in Atlanta. I'm just saying, who have a show and on the interwebs, TVs every week than Steel Sharp and Steel. We are your fans. We are stans, and we stand for you and wish you all the best in whatever it is that you choose to do. Go beat Vernon Jones upside the head if you want to. I don't care. Make it happen, Captain, because you are an outstanding woman, an outstanding rattler, and you have done that city well. For real, for real.
Leaving on her own terms.
And
I know that's right.
Anthony, I appreciate the sentiment. However, there are things. From 92
to the GA if you decide to do that.
That I just don't feel like scrubbing my history. So
Plausible deniability, Joy.
yeah, just,
Yeah,
I'm good.
there was a thing called Freaknik.
Yeah. No
What is wrong
pictures,
with Tom?
no Instagram, no.
I was looking at Joy's expression when I said those two syllables. And it told me everything I needed to know.
Do you know I met Tupac at Freaknik?
Did you really?
I ain't even tell that story. I got some stories, y'all. I'm
everybody was there.
Everybody.
It used to be
at
wild.
the gas station. He was leaning up, posted up at a gas station in the middle of Freaknik when we were stuck in traffic.
Okay. I know.
The
We'll leave it there.
The
See,
weirdest encounter. Yeah, we're gonna leave that there.
I'm gonna have to leave it there.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say on the regular TV show? We're gonna have to leave it there.
What was that? Spring '92? No, spring '93. Anyway, mind your business. It was great, and this is why I'm a private citizen.
That's right. I remember when I went down to Daytona Beach spring break for the first time after I had graduated from Florida A&M, and we went down to Daytona Beach to shoot the remix video for Montel Jordan's "This Is How We Do It."
Mm-hmm.
So it had turned into a super hit, but as we were heading into the summer, we needed a remix, and we actually got remixes from a couple of people. Diddy even did a remix, but it was lame. And so we ended up with the Cutie Pie remix. And so he did a stage show, he was twirling, he was doing all this sort of stuff, and lots of Noop adjacent stuff. And the thing that got cut out or blurred out of the video is in the very end of the video, he was riding in an open a convertible car down that main drag in front of the Adams Mark. Y'all remember the Adams Mark?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So we were driving down that strip, and a girl was chasing the car, and she was wearing a shirt, and the shirt that had to be blurred out was "You need dick in your life," and that's
That was my jam.
Like Cheney.
It was a Cheney support shirt, actually. So,
Y'all know how I go.
Joy.
What? There are things.
There are things.
The onlyest song I can't stand. For full disclosure, as Tom just drops that, Tom was Montel Jordan's original business manager agent.
Mm-hmm.
And I am on the chorus of "This Is How We Do It."
Really?
How about that?
I sure am.
Y'all want your bad self.
I absolutely
He
am.
is a bad self. Tom helped me pay for my first wedding.
And
Jordan royalties.
And I was in the video. My cut didn't make it in the video, but I was on set on the "This Is How We Do It" video.
Nice.
And I was there when we did the "Something for the Honeys" video, and lots of chicanery ensued. But the point is that the '90s were wild, and we are 90s. I was born in the 60s, in the end of the 60s, so I guess I'm technically a boomer who's also a Gen Xer, so I'm a Zoomer.
There is nothing boomer about you. Just claim it. You're a Gen Xer. You're 3 years into the Gen X. Just check yourself.
I'm just saying.
But I'm going to check you on that one.
I'll tell you this much. These young'uns, these millennials and all them other people, they look at this silver in my beard, and I got enough okay boomers where I was like, F y'all.
Oh, Father God.
My parents are boomers. I am not a boomer. I'm Gen X.
Right.
But I like XOOMER. I like Zoomer. Wait, were you? No, I was not on that. The video was the Montel Jordan "This Is How We Do It" remix, the Cutie Pie remix. That is what I was on.
I'm gonna start telling everybody that Tom sang "Dick in Your Life." Watch, that's gonna be my
That's how the lies get started. Right?
Exactly.
Tom is too articulate for that.
Yeah, that's the big lie. That's the big lie of this week. That's the Sharpie lie.
What? Huh? Dana Cunningham is listening like, what? Huh?
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
We already put my mom's comment up on the thread too. Sorry, Mom.
Jane.
I did not have anything to do with that song that I quoted,
Hey,
Mother.
boo.
It's after dark today.
It is after dark.
You give us a pass on this
Hey,
one.
Day, you know the rules.
It's been a long week, and we do have to continue the show. So there's a couple of the things that we wanted to talk about.
We having a good time. Everybody making their drinks right now.
Right.
Everybody in the kitchen.
I love you, Mama.
Crunk. Dana Dane.
So I think we have finished our headlines, if I'm not mistaken. Anything else you want to add to it? No.
Oh, technically, I think we're. Oh, no, we're not. We're not done. We don't have a picture for it because I'm sick of giving these people time. But it is important for us to note that all four of the former police officers, the Floyd Four, were smacked in the face with federal charges today. So just as the Chauvin juror traded common sense for a few minutes of internet fame and got on TV and started a whole tempest in a teapot with the whole I wore a BLM shirt one time.
Right.
And now the lawyers came out. It must be said, though, people who are talking about, oh, that juror lied and that's going to be such and such and thus and so. We talked about it. It actually, first of all, he didn't lie. Second of all, he was not at a BLM march. He was at a Martin Luther King commemorative march.
Mm-hmm.
And it was covered in voir dire. You ain't have to say all that, though, bruh. Like, all the other jurors, you had that one alternate, she don't count. You did not have to go on everybody's TV and say all that. You could have just kept your mouth quiet. Now, the defense was going to lodge an appeal anyway. That's a foregone conclusion. But please, folks, if you're looking on your threads and all that stuff, don't click on that headline, or don't not click on the headline and just extrapolate and say that brother's going to get the thing overturned. None of that is true. That's not even in the pleadings. There are some general statements about potential jury misconduct and why didn't you change the venue and you didn't keep him sequestered and all that other stuff. That defense lawyer has not said anything about that man. People are kind of conflating and running with things, and I think that's important. Chuck, please weigh in on what I just said.
Yeah, no,
Break it down about what happened today, please.
Wait, what now?
I said, Chuck, break down what happened
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
sure. No, but with Tom, you hit it right out the park. Essentially, what it comes down to is that motions for new trial are standard in any case. You can be Ted Bundy and other people, Jeffrey Dahmer. If you go to trial, no matter how heinous the crime is, you're going to get a motion for new trial that's filed. So it's no surprise that the lawyers for Derek Chauvin filed that motion. Tom hit it right out the park. There's not much substance there. I too wish that the brother had held serve, but that's the times that we live in now, where I think he probably was thinking once he got on that jury, I'm going to figure out how to cash in on this doggone thing, because book deals, interviews, interview rights. He's probably thinking, hey, I'm going to get paid, and when he could have just, like you say, hushed his mouth or talked about the jury experience and not said any of that. I mean, that's the part that just was, I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. It's immaterial. And just like Tom said, it was already covered in voir dire. You were let on the jury. So I'm not even sure why he felt the need to make a comment about it, but it is what it is. Now, in regards to the federal charges, I thought that was interesting news this afternoon too, because what it reminded me of, since we were talking about the 90s here just a few minutes ago, it's preemptive, it's early. But this is what happened back when the Rodney King Four was acquitted back in 1992. Remember, what wound up happening is not long after that, George Herbert Walker Bush announced that his Department of Justice was getting ready to swoop in and charge civil rights violations against those 4 officers. And what civil rights violations like that do is it's under the section 1983 of the U.S. Code, when officers acting under the color of law essentially deprive an individual of their right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so that can end in death, because obviously if you're deprived of your life, that it falls up under that ambit. But the penalties, the range of penalties will vary, but I kind of like it that it's out there this early, because 2 things. It's going to, what I think is going to happen is it's going to force these other ones to say, okay, what can we do to, let's make a deal, like Monty Hall. You get where I'm coming from, which is, we're screwed on the left, we're screwed on the right. Is there a way that we can work out some type of deal so that the Fed prosecutors and the state prosecutors can say 1 hit, 1 number of years, call it a day? And so that's what I anticipate. I would be shocked if any of these other ones actually wind up going to trial up there in Minnesota. And I think that with the Biden Justice Department announcing these charges, and when I say Biden Justice Department, the way it works is all of the U.S. attorneys across the country basically work up under the ambit of the United States Department of Justice. You go into any federal courthouse and you're going to see a picture of Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. And that's a welcome change from the last few years where you had Donald Trump, Jeff Sessions, and Mike Pence, and then later you had Bill Barr and Mike Pence and Donald Trump. It's going to be great to see those pictures come down. Well, they're already down, but it's a good feeling. You got me?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to
add some context about the indictments too.
Okay, in terms of context with regards to the indictments, I'm not really sure, Sharon, because I have not had a chance to really, so I don't want to misspeak here on air. I just basically was able to only glance the headlines that they were swooping in and what have you, and I immediately understood what was at play, which is Fed prosecutors, state prosecutors are going to try to get together and make sure that there's not another trial, because they want to avoid any BS. I mean, they were able to avoid it with Chauvin. The jury got it right. You don't want to bring these other ones up and then somebody gets acquitted, and then there it is. Minnesota's on fire again. So I'm sorry. I'll be able to speak a little bit more intelligently on that next week, but I haven't had a chance to review it, so I don't want to misspeak.
Okay. I'm going to take a moment to talk about what just happened in case you missed it. This is another reason that I love this show. Journalistic integrity. So instead of Chuck saying, well, I haven't read it, but I'll bet it says this, and I wouldn't be surprised if it said that, and I wonder if it says this, and just spew nonsense and falsehoods and fakeness out into the world, he was like, I haven't reviewed it. I don't want to misspeak. I'll know more next week. That's what you do. Every other journalist that might be watching us here, yes, I'm coming for your neck. That's what you do when you want to be a journalist and not just a talking head. You verify your sources. And then if you don't have the information, you wait until you do so you can speak intelligently about the subject. And that is my PSA today.
It is.
Thank you, Joy.
Yeah, we have the grace of not having to compete against other networks because we can do whatever the hell we want. And
Tom, every time I say something and I be feeling good about myself, you come in like it's not really that great what you just said.
No. It is great.
Y'all can treat me like stepchild, like
ain't no steps and ain't no children's.
I gave you snaps.
Hella snaps. I was saying, I was adding on. I was anding.
For you, not me. No.
I was yes-anding you because that's exactly right. We can do that. Everybody can't do that. Everybody doesn't do it. There are networks devoted to being the antithesis of that. But we are not.
That is one of the negative ramifications or results of 24-hour news cycle.
That's right.
Because before, it would be news at 6 and then again at 11 or something like that. And they had time to verify and they had time to check and debunk things. And if you made a mistake at 6, you had 5 hours to figure it out and correct it at 11. If you didn't know the whole story at 11, it was tomorrow's news. but then this 24-hour cycle, this is how you end up with, stories about the Kardashians and whatnot, because they got 24 hours a day to have to fill. So everything becomes news. Look at this kitten. Like everything becomes news because they got time to fill, and they will take a risk and say something that they are not sure about.
Joy, the other week I was, I don't know if y'all like and get in your Facebook feeds the Heels website, but I was going up and down my timeline about 2 weeks ago, and man, to your point, Joy, there was a story about Joe Biden bending over and picking up a dandelion and handing it to his wife. And I was just sitting there thinking, okay, it's a sweet gesture, but is this really worth 5 paragraphs on the Heel, one of the leading news sites? It's out of control. I was like, Joe Biden picks a dandelion. I was like, wow, I guess,
Well, it's like Joy said, you used to have a 6 o'clock newscast. Now you have a 6 o'clock newscast and a 6:04 newscast and a 6:08 newscast. Right. You got to keep it going. And so what you end up with is talking heads who have nothing to say, and Cucker Tarlson, who just spews racist nonsense, and, people who don't really know what they want to say. And you get guests who all they have is prepared talking points, and when somebody presses them at all, they take them beyond the paragraph that they have memorized. They literally are just like,
right,
squirrel. And so, that's kind of where we are, and that's one of the things that I really love about the show. Not only us, but our people, because our people are in here constantly commenting, supporting us, letting us know information that they have. If we miss somebody's name, they's a Googling, and all of a sudden we get the answer in the feed so that we can talk about it. We love you, Sharpies.
Yes, we love you so much, and that you play along. Joy's gonna put up a treat for me. This is that is my sister Vivian Nash and her husband Michael Nash joining in as King and Queen Sharpies. And now y'all need to put in the chat, which drink did y'all make?
I know that's right.
It's like 11 drinks in the chat at this point.
Hashtag which drink?
New recipes, yeah. Vivian, you need to identify your drink.
Please identify the drinks.
And that warmed my heart to see that people have joined in. Tomfoolery. I can call it tomfoolery now.
Yes, you can call it tomfoolery. Okay. What I love is the half-closed eyes of the folks drinking them drinks.
Look one more time. Look at the eyes.
Yeah. Hubby is like, I'm into this Mai Tai.
Yeah.
It's Mai Tai.
Yes. It wouldn't be after dark if y'all,
Yeah, Alan Williams got the sunshades on. Congratulations to Alan Williams with his daughter who graduated from college.
Duke University.
Thank you. I'm feeling extra old because Alan is my fraternal grandson, and he already got a daughter graduating. My baby's barely out of high school. But make it happen, Captain. That's my ism. That's 15 Club there for y'all who are not from the South. We say isms down south. Y'all be talking about clubs and specials and things. That's ism. So you had said it, Joy, that we were out of headlines, and I tacked one little mo headline on there. Where are we going next at minute 49? Because I know that you have something that you've been itching to talk about.
Talk about the jobs report, but go ahead.
Oh, take it, Jobs. Go on ahead, Jobs report.
I think some of Trump people still in that office.
Yeah.
Because ain't no way that jobs report look like that. And they do a correction.
Right.
A correction next week. So that's all I got to say. I'm a little salty at that jobs report.
To give a little context, the jobs report was less exciting than we would have expected given the turnaround in COVID. And so a lot of people are talking and pointing to that as a consequence of the Biden administration, blah, blah, blah. These things the marketplace doesn't respond quite like that. So y'all can stop pretending.
And all I got to say is every Popeyes and Chick-fil-A got a now hiring banner
I know that's
in
right.
front of their banner in front of their stores. Every Chick-fil-A
This is
and
true.
every Popeyes.
This is true.
And
I
let
saw
the chicken wars begin.
Popeyes. The Popeyes near me, Sharon, over here on our side of town, was advertising. They said they were paying like $12 to $15 an hour, too. And I was sitting there
They
thinking,
literally
okay,
put, if you want to work in the back, this is how much you're gonna make on the banner. If you
Yeah.
want to be on the front, this is what you're gonna
This is
make.
what you
If
make.
want to work out, I was like, well, shit. Nalo's only 7, but he can certainly do a little sweeping.
right.
I was like, okay, everything was double digits. So I don't know where those numbers came from, because at a minimum, you can get a job at Popeyes and Chick-fil-A.
Amen.
Well, I mean, first of all, Alan does say, and Alan is in the political space, the jobs report will be better. But the other thing to consider is that this is exactly one of the things that Joe Biden was talking about in the infrastructure bill, childcare. If you have been taking care of your children at home, you can't get back into the marketplace unless you have childcare. It's been a year. And so, all the childcare opportunities are not yet reopened to 100%. You still have some concerns about sending your children into a friggin' vaccine hive and everything else. You don't know what other parents are doing. You don't know what's going on in other people's houses. You have issues. It was Popeyes, Mom. It was not Church's. I love you. It was Popeyes.
Home quilted.
I was 14 years old. We were living in Palatine, Illinois, and it was Popeyes.
That was your first job, Tom?
That was my first job, Popeyes.
Yeah.
And dipping my fingers in the batter and having burnt ass hot chicken grease crust on my fingers from dipping the chicken into the thing.
Churches.
I did not work at churches. No. To her credit, I was a cantor at church. So I did work at church. I didn't work at churches. I worked at a church. At a couple of different churches, actually. I did sing cantor. But my Popeyes job, my fried chicken job, was at Popeyes, not churches. But I say all that to say, childcare is something that is going to affect the return to the job market. And so the infrastructure bill, where he was including childcare in that, is important. And not everybody who is ready to go back into the job market is ready to go back in some of the abundant jobs that are emerging right away. Fast food has been open. And so now that restaurants can open and you don't have lines out the door for a Popeye's chicken sandwich, you can actually service more people. And so there are some jobs that are right there, but they're not necessarily the jobs that everybody wants. And so it is going to get better. I think probably some people were thinking that with the vaccines and all that stuff that, so many people unemployed that it would be stronger. 266,000 jobs is not a bad number in a normal situation, but we do have to make up a lot of ground. And so that's kind of where some of the negative stuff is going. But it will be better. Stacy. Oh, Stacy.
She's literally wrecking. Damn, she took it to a whole nother.
This is another question I want to know. How is Arby's still open?
Listen, stop. You can stop the Arby's slander right now. Arby's has the best 2 for $6 gyros on the planet.
Them roast beef sandwiches on point. They've been on point for 40 years.
Decades.
I'm an Arby's fan.
And you got to try some of their other deli sandwiches. They have delicious sandwiches. They have the meat. Stop with the slander. Go to an Arby's. Don't get the beef sandwich. Go get like the pecan chicken salad.
Yeah.
Go get the roasted buffalo chicken. Go get the smoked beef house brisket. The reason I can tell you what's on the menu is because it's not bad food. And I go there. Arby's is delicious. They have the meats. They have the meats.
And them curly fries on point.
The curly fries are the lick.
They on point.
Joy, you have upset the boys.
That's right, Jerome.
And look, half the chat.
Fish sandwich.
Again, I didn't got
Popeye's fish sandwich.
Popeye's fish sandwich is banging. But once again, young and come in the room and say something and get put out the room. I'm going to go back in my corner.
I mean, ain't nobody asked you to slander Arby's. We weren't even talking about no Arby's. Why you had to slander Arby's?
I got your back, sis. I agree with you, sis. How about that? Except their gyros are good.
There you go.
Thank
That
you.
and curly fries.
Joy, did you ever
curly fries
growing up? Did you ever
CC's
work at a
taste
restaurant?
test.
Joy, did you ever work at a restaurant? I was at McDonald's until I graduated from high school.
I didn't. Work
Alan
in a
says
restaurant.
Lindy's. Don't nobody know what Lindy's is, Alan.
Something
I didn't work in
functified.
a restaurant because we had Six Flags in Houston, so I worked at Astro.
Oh, you were at Astro World.
Okay, got you.
Man,
Now,
talking
you
about
know
amusement
how they
parks.
got down at the Popeyes inside Astroworld. Don't even
Oh.
They would drop that chicken on the floor every day and then throw it back in the grease and serve it to you every day.
We did not do that at the Popeyes in Palatine. However, we did have chicken tacos, and the chicken tacos at Popeyes are day old chicken. I'm just letting
That
you know.
was churches. You
If
were
they
at
had-
churches.
Yeah.
If they had a barbecue
That
chicken
was
sandwich,
big old meat.
yeah, if you had a barbecue chicken sandwich at a Popeyes in the 80s, that was day old chicken doused in barbecue sauce.
You
She
see what we're doing
said
now?
Dick has the heat. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm with
Nikki is my protege.
Alan Williams though on that Lindy's Gizzards and that and the
Gendy.
liver's box. Yeah, I
I
get
can't
them.
Nah,
even
it was
the smell
liver's box
walking
from
in
time
there.
to time. That's good,
Nah.
good eating.
Shingles. Okay, first of all, the gizzards.
Guttural.
The gizzards during the 80s at FAM was at Spur. You had to walk down that hill to Spur and get you a cup of gizzards.
Listening, Spurs is a gas station.
Not anymore. It ain't nothing no more. But it was.
It's all fancy now.
It's all fancy.
Yeah.
But man, I you could walk down to Spur and get you a cup of gizzards and some. There's a dude that I met down at the Spur one day. He said, "Can you get me some of them Viennas?" And I said, Viennas? What are you talking about? He was talking about Vienna sausages. Yeah, Vienna sausages. You could get you some gizzards and Vienna sausages from the Spur.
Yeah, man. When we were in high school, that used to be the spot we go hit the get the MD 2020, the Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. Nobody was carding you. You're 16, 17 years
Right.
old, 2 quarts, and you were ready to party for the evening. So
Yeah, it was quarts. It was quarts before 40s.
It
was just a quart.
Quarter bull.
There it is. Oh, she's got the stemless wine glass. Go on ahead with your badass Joy.
Can we
I
talk
see you.
about the vaccines?
We can talk about the vaccines. You know, we're all double vaxxed in two shots in 2 weeks.
We need more us and the children. It's time for the 20-somethings to go get their vaccines.
That's right.
It's time.
All y'all can get it now. Ain't no
Y'all
excuses.
mamas and daddies are still alive. We made it. We ain't grew no horns out of our heads. We need y'all to go get vaxxed. 20-somethings and 30-somethings. Y'all want to come back in general population? Y'all want to hit the circuit this summer? We need y'all cheering to go get vaxxed.
Right. Stop the foolishness. Wait, we can't hear you, Joy.
Said if you get vaxxed now, you be ready for that white linen party that's bound to happen. This
That's
summer.
right. Mm-hmm. It's not hot girl summer, it's vax girl summer.
Lord Jesus.
Exactly.
Going ahead and get vaxxed. Because, y'all, it's not going nowhere. Because even if y'all don't get sick, you can carry the virus.
Yes.
You can carry it right back to your mom and them. It don't hurt. It takes 2 seconds.
COVID is coming back. Y'all need to look at India and y'all need to.
Man, India.
It's tight over there.
That's the one, CJ. Vax girl summer. That's what's up.
How you gonna give that to CJ? I was the one who just said it. She just typed it.
I didn't hear you. I was drinking when you said it.
She's ignoring you.
I guess so. I'm sorry.
I'm woman-splaining for a change.
Yeah, you are. Herd immunity is it ain't no herd immunity, Alvin, because the herd won't get it. And most of the herd that won't get it are those Trumpers who can't admit to themselves that Trump already got it. Mm-hmm. And Trump got the gold standard stuff. Y'all fronting. Y'all stupid as hell. Speaking of Trumps, you know who we haven't heard from since January 20th?
The cokehead.
Melania.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Melania ain't even in the country.
Melania ain't said a damn thing.
She's tired of speaking English. Yo, she is gone. Melania is beat out.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom, you know who I thought about yesterday or today? Kelly Ann Conway.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell she at?
Helping her daughter recover from getting voted off American Idol.
Mm-hmm.
But Chuck, I have some issues.
Mm-hmm.
I have some issues, and it's hard to wreck for many reasons. But when the hell did Ron DeSantis go national?
Ugh.
Yeah, so it's
If I see him on one more goddamn commercial,
one more commercial signing a damn law restricting voting in Florida.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
and with the Indian reservation, and
it's frustrating. It's frustrating because at the end of the day, so many Republicans are still clinging for a reasonable facsimile of Donald Trump, and that in and of itself is a little disturbing to me. That it's the worst aspects of the Trump administration that they're clinging to or fiending for, right? And so they miss the acerbic nature of a chief executive yelling at the press, blaming the media, yelling at subordinates. These are the types of things they're looking at, and that's what Ron does. Ron is Trump, but without Trump's money. And I mean, I know Trump's not a billionaire, but Ron's nowhere close to that. And so it's going to be very interesting moving forward to see how much he can sustain with that. Because when you push back against him, like if you really, really, really listen to Ron DeSantis, he's not that solid. Like every time I listen to him talk, dating back to even his debates against brother Andrew Gillum, I remember all of the hoopla about, he went to Harvard and he went to Yale, and Andrew owned him in those two debates. And I mean owned. It wasn't even remotely close. And when you stop and you're like, well, wait a minute. And Ron DeSantis was a trial lawyer and got owned in a debate. He's not that sharp. And so with that in mind, it frustrates me to continue to see mediocre 6F men who get pushed out into the forefront. Go ahead, Joy.
No, I was going to say there's a meme that goes around that says, "I pray that today you have the abundant confidence of a mediocre white man."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of truth to that, because there's nothing and no one has ever told him he can't. Anything, right. He can't. Whatever you want to fill that with. And they can is a vestige of white supremacy. They can. He has a shot because he's a mediocre white man, because we've already seen a subpar white man take the lead and become the leader of the free world, so to speak. So a mediocre one that can actually put a sentence together and knows when to smile and can still say all the same things, he does have a shot, and it's frightening. But I want to go back to something real quick a minute ago, just because I'm feeling froggy. So this whole thing about Melania is in Canada with Justin Trudeau. Yo, don't sleep.
Well,
that might be what could happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I always thought that she had better taste.
That Mike Jones line, "Turn your neck and your dame missing." That's exactly what that picture looked like to me.
Listen,
like, okay.
A lot of these people, there is not a single Trump acolyte who is trying to get the Trump spotlight that is going to be able to carry that momentum nationally. Trump was against 23 odd competitors, all of them, well, not all of them, many of them, seasoned politicians, fellow billionaires and executives like Meg Whitman, Carly Fiorina with executive experience. None of them performed even marginally well against Trump. Ted Cruz was the closest, and he dogged Ted Cruz out like like Joy claims I'm dogging her out, even though I'm not. So you got Ron DeSantis, who only got elected by licking Trump's boots, and he thinks he's going to take Trump's place. First of all, Trump is still convinced he's running.
Yeah.
Don't think about this though. Trump's not running, but if he can stay in Trump's good graces long enough to promise Trump a return to the love of a pep rally, and Trump starts to stump for him and can run around again, if he plays his cards right, he can have people thinking he's the next Trump.
But the base is not DeSantis stands. The base is not anyone who pretends to be Trump stands. The base are Trump stands. And this is what I keep trying to tell people. The Republican Party existed as is for how many ever hundreds of years or 100+ years without Trump. But once Trump stepped in, he became the party.
Yeah.
It's not Trump style Republicans.
It's Trump.
It's Trump.
I agree.
And the sooner these people realize this and realize that there is no space for you to be a person who likes Trump. If Trump is not running, you've got a problem, because now it's his party. And I don't know that he's going to be able to run. He's certainly not going to gin up any more support with that blog he got.
Mm-mm.
You know,
At all.
Yeah, and I've heard that Val Demings out of Orlando is looking at throwing her hat into the ring. I would love it. That's another sorrow. So
Yep.
Orlando alumni chapter, stand up.
She's very impressive, and what's interesting about that is, you know, our former governor Charlie Crist threw his hat in this week. Crist was a Republican when he was in office, but he was a moderate. He clearly was a moderate Republican, not a fire-breathing, hardcore right-wing ideologue at all.
Right.
And that just shows how far to the right the pendulum has shifted, because he was popular when he was governor here in Florida from 2006 to 2010, and now he wouldn't even place third or fourth in a Republican primary. That's how far to the right it's gone. So it's going to be interesting, because again, most people in Florida are waiting to see what it is that y'all Sarah Demings decides to do. And so, you know, I'm of the opinion that may the best woman or man win, and then let's go forward and try to beat DeSantis, because I think he's beatable. Florida is not as hard red or as many of its southern sister states. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are quite a few registered Republicans, but there are a whole lot of registered Democrats in this state too. I don't have the exact numbers, but it's pretty close to 50-50. So the issue, as we talk about a lot, is going to be turnout. Who's going to be able to turn out their voters next year the best? And that's where we've got to work, because, you know, with us being in our gubernatorial race being in what's a national midterm election, turnout is typically not that good here for Democrats, depending on what part of the state that you're in. So we've got to push past that typical conventional wisdom and get our votes out, because it would be nothing better than to give DeSantis a black eye looking toward 2024 by sending him home and back into private practice in 2022.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I feel that if it does turn out that Stacey Abrams is not going to run for governor because she and Keisha are talking, I would love nothing more than for her to set up camp in Florida, straddle that Florida-Georgia border, and get her operation working in both those states.
Amen.
Because if she can do in Florida what she did in Georgia, that would really be something.
I agree, Tom.
So,
I agree.
Here's my thing about that. She's been working on what she's done in Georgia for over 10 years.
Right.
And so it's not something you can just cut and paste. Granted, she built a lot of infrastructure that is easily repeatable, but just the workforce alone and just getting the backing, the location, the organization, it'll take a couple of years, and it's very crucial couple of years. If we weren't in the crisis that we're in now, we'd have time to do that. But we need 2022, and I don't know that we can even get that organized by then in Florida. You know, and because I had another friend who was a lawyer in Texas, and she was in Houston, and she was like, Joy, how do we get a Stacey Abrams in Houston? I was like, baby girl, that's you. You be the Stacey in Houston. Yeah. We need everybody to step up.
Well, I'd be happy to have a bunch of Stacey's. I'm just saying to be the face. There are people waiting to be activated, and if you're talking about.
She could franchise it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She could be the Chick-fil-A of southeastern politics, and just have people standing in line with their little iPads, registering people, and have the little umbrellas and the sunshades and the water next to them, and just get it done. But you see, the bill that DeSantis just signed is basically a cut and paste from the Georgia thing, criminalizing water, doing all these things, and you got clowns like Paris Denard going on TV shows talking about the Democrats lied because that actually expands. You can't say, you can say that you're expanding voting, but when you cap the early voting to 5 p.m., then who are you saying can vote? And you take away weekend voting hours because your weekday voting hours, you trim those hours to between work hours. And and then you take away weekend hours because you say, well, but we've expanded weekday voting. But you're taking away the hours that the people who need the advance voting the most, you're taking those hours away from them. So what is it that you're doing? You're not fooling it. Well, you are fooling some people. You're not fooling the people who are watching and understand your game.
Right.
So, okay, maybe somebody said, Gregory McFadden talking about the DNC. Maybe Stacey needs to be DNC chair. Maybe that would be something.
That's
so
why I would have loved to have seen her.
She could nationalize it. You know, when
let me be very clear. What she created was not rocket science.
No.
What she did was from the ground up. And as Joy said, she put 10 years of work in it without any DNC support, without any real infrastructure. She did it by the bootstraps, and they ran very targeted and organized method. It's the original DNC handbook. The problem is the DNC is transactional, and all they worry about is what seats we're going to preserve, what seats we're going to do this. What Stacey did is because Georgia had nothing to lose, she built that on bootstraps of the locals, and that's why there's so many local sheroes that are recognized in Georgia, because she didn't do it by herself. But what she was unrelenting, and what she did was stick. She didn't go and pack up and lick her wounds. She doubled down on what she believed, what she did, and won in 2018. She doubled down and said, I'm not going to go home and lick my wounds. I'm going to stay the course. And when she stayed the course and dug into U.S. Senate races, she had already built her political capital because of how close they came, and the money came with it. She put over $27 million on the ground in Georgia. That's a serious investment for a state that size, and they never deviated from the work. All the satellite groups stayed the course. And what is not happening in other states is people making that kind of investment, not trying to be so transactional and worry about every Tom, Dick, and Harry minuscule election, and kept their eye on the prize. What Stacey got the funding community to do is stay focused on what the prize was. And when they accomplished it in Georgia, it definitely made her the queen in a very unique way, because it wasn't about her. She did it for the good of her state, which got 2 Democrats elected to the United States Senate. So it takes a lot of layers, where that playbook is no different than everybody else's playbook, quite honestly. And that's not to minimize it. That's just to say she wasn't waiting and asking permission, and she didn't deviate and worry about just her election. She stayed true. What we are not doing is staying true. And she stayed true to the roots. She gave the money to the grassroots. She didn't give the money to the swooped in people who just transactionally. It's about the strategy. And what she perfected was the strategy.
One of the things I love about what Stacey Abrams did do that I think is creditable to her is that she was able to be a compelling nationalized face in the way that some others have not. I mean, how many of the Sharpies, without Googling, could name the current DNC chair right now? I remember when Dean was the chair, and he adopted the 50-state strategy, and he was out there all the time. Stacey has supplanted him, so much so that the mainstream GOP started attacking her like it was Pelosi and then Stacey Abrams. And so when she became, that's what I'm saying. So when she became that firebrand and that target, it really escalated her and helped drive and empower the work that she was doing, because you had one person you could look at, and the whole thing was, even when they were dissing her, Stacey Abrams is so good, we've got to take her down.
We have a winner. Carla's the winner.
That's not the chair.
That's not it. Oh, man.
It's the dude who lost. It's the dude who lost the South Carolina race. It's the dude who lost. It's the dude who lost against Lindsey Graham in South Carolina. The brother is
the black dude. Yeah,
the brother.
Yes.
So, and this is exactly my point. Jamie Harrison.
Jamie.
Yes. Okay.
So this is my point, and I just want to say, because this is something that is perhaps unique about our show. You see how quickly we can go from lit to stark, insightful messaging and analysis, like on the turn of a dime, because
I live for this shit.
And that's what I'm saying. Sharon turned on that and all of a sudden you ain't seen no glass. She was just like, and what she was doing was, and that is what this show is, as lit as we can get. The intellect does not get turned off.
Never.
You can have as many glasses or as many pens or as many whatevers, but you're always going to get this analysis 100% of the time, but no matter what else is going on.
What it's like, and I know we were going to talk about this before we got off. It really reminds me. Our show reminds me so much of being on the yard at HBCUs with if you went to FAMU, Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, Morris Brown, Tennessee State, any of the HBCUs. It's the same. One of the things that used to be cool is when we would road trip when I was an undergrad up at Morehouse, we'd go places and it was the same thing in everybody's dorm. Like if you're at North Carolina Central, folks are going to sit around. You were going to be playing Sega. You're going to be drinking. You might have been smoking herb. And we were sitting there discussing everything under the sun. The intellectual discourse was amazing, and often got more amazing the more you drank and the more bud or herb that you smoked. And so, now so being with you all each Friday night reminds me of that, the ability to sit and just, go from this to that and have a good time doing it, and then go back to, party and bullshit like the old song used to say. So anyway, keep it moving. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's that we're HBCU people on here. We some HBCU peoples, and I want to give a shout out to Alabama A&M for winning the HBCU national championship. This has been a big year for HBCU programs. There were lots of struggles going on. Obviously, we weren't able to play the fall season, but we came back with this abbreviated spring season. We had the influence of Neon Deion Sanders, who coached Jackson State. Some would say uncharitably, less than effectively, but that's okay because he brought a lot of attention to the programs. Eddie George is going to be a coach at an HBCU, Tennessee State. Am I right, Chuck?
Yeah, he's at Tennessee State. Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that, as a Rattler, I've been happy to see is that Chad Ochocinco has basically been the spokesmodel for Rattler athletic gear for going on 6-7 months right now. He can't get that stuff off his Instagram feed. You got LeBron James wearing Rattler stuff. You got Shaquille O'Neal's son going to an HBCU. It's a good time. It's a good time to be in HBCU,
like we had in the 90s.
That's right.
You want to be here or be at an HBCU.
A different world. A different world helped drive that drama. Hillman College and fake fraternities and roaches and things like that, all blowing up and making HBCUs look hype.
Yeah,
and we are in that space. Top recruits who normally would have gone to a PWI. I don't know to attribute it to the protests of George Floyd that kind of littered all of 2020.
Well, it was the combination of the civil unrest, but also even before that, there was a turning towards HBCUs because a lot of people were experiencing racism in not unprecedented, but in ways that they hadn't expected to experience it on some PWI campuses.
Right.
I know we have PWI graduates in our audience, and I know that your experience may have been great. I'm just talking about specifically the news articles, like the young lady who had the cops called her for falling asleep in the public break room, in
Yale.
Other people have the cops called on them for walking back to their dorm.
Yeah.
People calling them names. We've even seen it in sports games where another team is throwing nooses on the field. You don't get that at Jackson State. You don't get that at Morehouse, right? So
nope.
There's a level of safety.
That's right.
I do a lot of talk about safe spaces and about vulnerability and trust. If you don't know nothing else about an HBCU, you know that you can be yourself and that you will not be judged for being who you are. And you might get read for filth, but you won't be judged for being who you are, and that you won't suffer unduly. And if you do suffer, it'll be at the hands of somebody external to the HBCU, and you got your boys and your girls there with you. Because we all had issues, running afoul of the police during the Rodney King riots back in '92. So things happen, but there's a level of comfort and care that you get at an HBCU, and I think people are starting to miss that. And actually, I think that takes me into one of the things I wanted to show. Since we're talking about HBCUs,
That's right.
Do me a favor, y'all take yourselves out because the video is short or narrow.
Okay.
So, y'all remember this? Because this is what it feels like when you go to a HBC, when you don't go to a HBCU, but you wish you did.
That was dope. That was cool.
I am so dead.
Yeah, that was funny.
You have to love the inventiveness of our people and the TikTokery. I will say the only thing that you will feel threatened by at an HBCU is if you can't play spades.
Yeah, you're gonna get dragged by that.
So all of our college signing people, all of our folks who have kids who are going to HBCUs, please, you have free spades apps. You got the whole summer to at least sit at a pretend table and learn how to play. And just I'm gonna let you know, the spades apps do not play
HBCU spades.
They do not. Big, little, deuce. That's like the going rule. That's big joker, little joker, deuce of diamonds, deuce of spades, then ace of spades. So don't get caught out there.
Right.
And you got an ace and you think you talking cash shit because somebody will creep up and throw that deuce on you and you'll be like, ace is bigger than deuce. Yeah, no, it's not though. Not if you are. You got to establish those rules at the beginning. And just so you know, deuce of diamonds, deuce of spades. Just so you know, the word is renege. RENEGE.
Don't be a renigger.
Please do not, because I know some of y'all be like, somebody had the nerve to tell me I was playing spades and I was looking because I don't like to lose. I was counting and I was
chalk.
That's
refill.
That's glass number 3, and I saw that they had dropped. They had dropped and had reneged, and I said,
to go back to Daddy Dick on your ass.
Right.
You reneged on that book. She said you probably don't even know how to spell it. And I said, oh, you got the entirely wrong one for that, chick.
Joy,
you need to shut yourself.
Joy, let me reminisce right quick. What was crazy is back in my early undergrad years, Tom, Sharon, I got to give y'all some dap. When I come back from Atlanta during the summer times, y'all remember them nights over at Dale Parks' house over there off Thomasville Road. Folks be playing spades all night.
At the townhouse.
Carla
at the townhouse.
Yeah, the townhouse. Daryl Jones, liquor flowing, Secret True Blood, liquor flowing, shit getting caught, food getting ate, not eating, getting ate. We had a ball back in the day. And I also got to shout out one of the things about that FAMU and AUC love. Back when the Ebony Classic and the Atlanta Classic was going, man, that was the best damn weekend in the fall in Atlanta, hands down. When FAMU would come shut down the Hilton, Tennessee State would shut down the Marriott. Man, you're talking about tens of thousands of Negroes just partying and having a ball. Let
me tell you what's so bad about that.
Yeah.
There was one classic there.
Right.
Okay.
And we still remember that shit like it was 10 years rolling. I remember the parking lot I was in. I remember the Sky Club I walked up to.
Right.
We talk about the ATL 100 Black Men tournament. I mean, bowl game, Joy, like it happened for 10 years straight.
Right.
It happened one time.
But it was iconic.
Iconic.
Black universe. I don't think if you missed it, you're dead. You're like, I don't even understand how I missed it for 10 years straight. No, you missed it once.
Right.
It's as infamous as the CNN Mardi Gras of Omega Sci-Fi. That every human being on the planet had to be there because we all got a story about it. It happened one time.
Sharon, talk about integrity. That was my senior year in high school when that jumped off. And I'm not going to lie, I was in trouble because about 2 weeks earlier, I was supposed to have been home around 11:30, and your boy didn't get home till about 3 in the morning, right? Feeling myself. I had already been accepted to Morehouse.
I was thinking I was grown. In the ATL.
Yeah, thinking I was grown. And so I ain't even get cussed out. I thought Dad might have swung on me. No, he was just like, put your keys up. So I was a big old grown, full beard having about to turn 18-year-old future Morehouse man that couldn't go out at all from like February to June of my senior year of high school. And I missed the Mardi Gras. And so everybody, all of my clique that went to high school with me was out there hanging around trying to be grown and had stories. And I was like, I missed probably one of the wildest events in Tallahassee history. And I just love hearing the stories, this legendary and what have you. It was wild that weekend.
It's just the joy, including Joy Stevens, but it's the joy that you can feel knowing that you were in a place. It's like when I went to Africa for the first time, I flew into Nairobi, so JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And if you have never been to a place where black is the standard and the whole country is where black is the standard, it's like in The Color Purple when Nettie came back, she said, my soul vibrated. That's exactly what it was like. You touch down and you get in the matatu and you're driving in the city center and you're going through the roundabouts and it's just black, 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 black. And my brother is over there still. He's in Nairobi, and when that's a lot. That's a big long thing. You got to break that up, Liz, into some little tidbits.
I'll read it when I get a chance.
But my brother is darker than I am, so I have my mother's complexion. My brother has my dad's complexion. Okay, so my dad and my brother are more similarly complected. And when he introduced me as his brother, they said no. Because to them I was Mzungu. And so still to be a black person, an American black person in Africa, and I've been to 5 African countries, it is just different. And that's what it's like being at an HBCU. You are in this place and you are surrounded by your people. And your teachers are black, your president is black, your administration is black, the shady student aid ladies are black, everybody is, the CAF ladies are black. It's just black. Security guards are black. You don't have to worry about being tased for walking to your dorm room. It's just this warm place, and I am so glad the HBCUs are getting their due and coming back. And I cannot encourage enough any student who's contemplating your educational decisions, go ahead and consider those HBCUs. Yeah. Top-notch education. Grad school, PWI grad schools are always going to be there. And if you want to be fancy, then go on ahead and do it. That's right. Black on black, blackity black.
Blackity black, honey.
Blackity black. I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. And I'm black and black and I'm black, y'all. That's what it is. Kufes and Africa medallion necklaces. That's right. Wakanda forever.
I want to speak to what Emma Ethan put in here. Like this is too much put on screen, babe. But I'm going to tell you what it says. It's she taught at Biola University, and they had Latino students in her class. Her chair came to visit and observe her, and she listened to them speak Spanish. She immediately told their coach in an email, without talking to Emma, that she didn't know that they are constantly pulled aside by campus police while wearing their jerseys to prove they're students. They have to log in to Biola's online portal on their phone to prove it, so that when they get stopped by the police, their ID was never enough. And their coach told them to stop speaking Spanish. That was their answer. Well, just don't do the thing right that you natively do to keep us comfortable. Help me not kill you. So, I'm gonna do a free advertising real quick. I was bumping through HBO the other day because I got AT&T, so I got HBO Max now, and I be feeling myself. I was bumping through there, and Michael Che has a new show called That Damn Michael Che.
Yes, that damn Michael Che.
That's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO.
Yes, it is. It sure is.
Damn Michael Che. The first episode, I was like, this is where I need to be.
Absolutely.
He's smart. He's brilliant. He's responsible for more of the subtle political commentary that you
Weekend
on
Update
Saturday Night Live, especially when they do the Weekend Update. And he has a skit in there where the police are trying to be friends with the community. I ain't gonna tell you no more than that. Watch it. That damn Michael Che on HBO Max. And coins, Michael.
And another thing,
I will be on Glass 4 watching that.
Listen, another thing you can say about SNL, if you are an SNL alum, you gonna be on another SNL alum show. Don't be confused. It happened with Keenan. Keenan got Chris Redd on there. Michael Che got 6-7 people from SNL littered throughout his show. Cecily Strong is one of the white ally chicks. Yeah, it's Cecily Strong. That's a show. And that's one of them shows where it's like, okay, I see you, HBO Max. I see you. You have a really shitty film catalog that you are putting out on your streaming service right now. It is extra shitty. God damn you for the little things. God damn you. That was trash. Hot trash.
I actually like that movie.
That movie was bullshit. So anyway, but Michael Che, that's right.
What movie is that? What movie is that?
The Little Things. It's Denzel Washington and Rami Malek, 2 Oscar winners.
Finish.
Oh no, and Jared Leto, 3 Oscar winners. Don't be confused. It's chubby Denzel, whack Rami, and creepy Jared, and it goes nowhere, and it's trash. But Joy liked it. Go on ahead. You like Joy's opinions better than I do about film, so go on ahead and watch it.
Oh yeah,
it's a cop procedural.
But check out what Stacey's saying. She just represented a black female freshman student at a PWI accused of cheating on an exam. Completely
good.
But why would you try and ruin this? Because here's the thing: when we talk about white privilege, they're trying to ruin her life, end her any potential for her to have a career, and sully her good name all over a misunderstanding that we all know is BS. If a mediocre white man had actually cheated and got caught, well, we don't want to mess up his future, and we'll just let this go. He's a good boy from a good home. Man, fuck the good boy from the good home. I hate that shit so much. I caught it over and over again when I was in corporate. People trying to get me to hire these mediocre ass white men. This dude ain't qualified. Why would I hire him? Well, I know his parents. Fuck you and their parents. I don't know them, and he ain't getting this motherfucking job. Not on my watch. Not when I got all these qualified people over here, people of color that you don't think are good enough just because you know his parents.
Joy, that's real talk.
Y'all were worried about me.
Let me tell you, 20-something years ago when I was first getting ready to come out of law school, I remember doing a lot of applications for jobs for the state of Florida, right? And I was sitting there at home talking to my old man about it. And I was like, I find this interesting on some of these jobs. Some of them were legal, some of them weren't because I hadn't taken the bar yet. And I saw things like for a bachelor's degree or 4 years commensurate experience, master's degree or 7 years commensurate experience. And I was like, that's interesting, Dad, that I'm sitting there like, wow, you have degrees, or he was like, that's for the white folks who didn't go to college and don't have a degree signed, so that they get certain level, higher level or mid-level jobs because they don't have a degree, but they knew somebody, they worked for however many years. And then it's like, okay, we're not going to worry about the fact that you don't have a bachelor's or a master's. And again, and I'm not trying to be elitist when I say that. I get it. A college degree is great if you've got it. If you don't, it's great. It's a lot of people who are super billionaires who never stay. Hell, Bill Gates. I mean, I don't think, did he ever finish Harvard? I know he dropped out as a freshman, but I don't know if he ever went back.
No, he finished $50 billion though.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the point I'm making. having a college degree is not the end all be all in all fields. But at the same time, I thought that was interesting, and I thought Pop's explanation to me that the experience thing was to help out folks who ain't been to nobody's school, but they got the complexion for the connections, if you get where I'm coming from.
Right.
You know, that's just another example. I'm sorry, what you saying?
No, okay, I was done.
It's just another example of systemic discrimination, because the problem with all of the rules and the laws, et cetera, is that they are subjective. And you can decide to let something go, or you can decide to prosecute to the fullest letter of the law. You can give somebody the minimum sentence or the maximum sentence, and it's up to the judge and his or her, unconscious or conscious bias to decide how people get sentenced, even though there's such a broad allowable limit. And if you think about in corporate spaces, you can say, this is going to be the pay band for this job, and we're being fair because everybody has the same pay band. Oh, but you're paying the women and the black people down here, and you paying Kevin up here. Kevin, and so all of this continues to go on, even in that legal and even in that area, hiring for a job. You can say a degree or commensurate experience, but commensurate experience is never good enough for the melanated people. They must have a four-year degree. And I have seen and worked with mediocre white men with commensurate experience doing a job that I know when I got hired, I had to have a college degree. When I wanted to get promoted, I had to have won several awards within the company. And I'm watching people who've never won an award get the job that I went up for. I'm like, this ain't fair, and something ain't right. Well, he had something that you didn't have. And what they had that I normally didn't have was non-melanin,
Right.
and a penis. And they're just all of a sudden, they just happily qualified. And I'm still mad. Yes.
Speaking of non-melanin and a penis, this clown actually tried the Foxitis and Foxmania defense for storming the Capitol. He said that his client, and I'm sorry, Zach Galifianakis, this looks like your skinny baby cousin, but this cat tried to say he was hopped up on Foxitis by watching 6 months of Fox News and started believing what he was fed to him. And what he also had to believe was that guilty verdict.
Right.
Because unlike
trying to get paid.
Unlike Affluenza Boy, that Foxitis shit did not work.
At all.
At all. It did not work. So good on you, baby Zach, because you win mediocre 6F of the week for that foolishness.
Can we talk about Matt Gaetz and Marjorie
Taylor Greene, Congress critter?
The Congress critters.
Yeah, go on ahead.
We have a dynamic duo. We haven't even evoked Day Cray Cray tonight because it's just simply exhausting. And what I am clear about is Trump has had his litter, and his litter is now out doing his bidding. And we need to be very, very concerned about the next generation of Trumpsters that has been birthed. Look at what you talk about mediocrity, and you talk about what y'all was just talking about. Let's be clear. Trump has had a litter, and the litter is roaming free. And look at the record.
I like how you
look at the record of Matt Gaetz' current record, current assumptions of his character, and Marjorie Cuckoo Green. And they have the audacity, Chuck Hobbs, to be in the villages today.
Yeah.
The villages. So this is the grandparents that have taken their time to come and meet with the new litter, both with stains of character on their record. These are not upstanding, all-American blue bloods. These are filth farm filth that's out doing the bidding for the Trumpster. Houston, we have a problem.
Well, you call them litter because they trash.
I see what you did there.
See what I did there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While we're talking about trash, because we're at 1 hour and 40 minutes, Joy, can you take us through, since we're talking about trash and litter and filth, can you take us through the reading for filth of a particular person who is a media figure? I would love nothing more than to close the show with perhaps the first unilateral gangster of the week ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I give you the floor.
So our unanimous gangster of the week is another political pundit. She has her own show. She has, a relatively high level of journalistic integrity. I'm a fan, and the person I'm speaking of has been routinely attacked by a member of the left wing, or the far right wing media on Fox News, and he seems to have a continual problem with her living her life and minding her business. And so he can't keep her name out of his mouth, and I think he's mad because of what happened. And the person I'm talking about is Joy Reid.
Whoo!
Tucker Carlson likes to call her the race lady. And you'll notice it looks like we're about to play a video. We are not, because we sick of getting kicked off of Facebook for playing other folks' videos. So just go look up Joy Reid, Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Or better yet, look up Tuckums. Because when I tell you my name, Sister Joy,
I
read this dude for filth in the nicest, most I'm sorry your life is sad kind of way. I was here for it all day. She was like, she played all the times that he's been like, Joy Reid, Ivy League graduate.
Race lady.
Why? She's upset. He's mad because she's educated. And she's better educated than he is. He's mad because she gives lie to every idea he ever had about white supremacy. She is superior to him in every way, including looks. Mm-hmm. And so he don't even know how to handle it. So he has to hate her because he has to deny her greatness. And she's over there looking at him like, oh, you poor, sad individual. I'm sad. I'm sorry that your life sucks so bad for you, Tuckums. And she just read him for filth. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. I was here for it all day. I was in love with it. And look at her face. Her whole face is,
that look right there is like, it's not about to end well, buddy. It is not going to end well for you.
I mentioned on my personal page when I was talking about the way Stacey Abrams represented when she got called out. They tried to call her out. The Republican senator was like, "Can you show me how many racisms are in this bill?" She goes, "Yes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4." He goes, "Wait, and 5 and 7 and 9 and this one." We get it. So that was her moment of giving them the smoke they weren't ready for. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, Tuckums was not ready for this smoke. An educated Black woman in the United States is about 85 to 90% smoke. And when I tell you, no one in nobody is more prepared to serve you your ass on a platter.
Nobody, baby.
An educated Black woman will bring it to you. She will take it. Do you want to go to the mattresses? She will go to the mattresses. She walks around with a pop ready for you at any given time. The person you don't want to try is her. If she's the only one in the room, walk out the room.
Out.
This ain't where you want to be. You don't want this smoke.
Can I tell you that every syllable of that read had so much bless your heart in it? When she put her little hands forward and she kind of crouched down like she was looking down at him, calling them Tuckums. And when she slid the knife in, as she talked about Harvard and his test scores and her test scores, and then she mentioned that little no-name institution that he finally graduated from, and when she slid the little Swanson's money in there, and when she did
her homework.
When I tell you Valar Morghulis, she area starked his ass from one end to the other. Yeah. She dragged, and I mean the dragging kept going. It wasn't, I'm Joy Reid, Tuckums is an idiot, and I'm smart and he's not. No. That was like seven minutes of just what you're not going to do is Call Me Race Lady again. And he looks, when she played the clips, because it was like race lady, race lady, race lady, race lady, he looks so febrile. And he has this the squint and the da-da-da-da-da and race lady. It's like you couldn't even pretend.
Febrile, ready to have a stroke.
Thank you. It's just, it was a gorgeous thing to see. It was absolutely delicious and creamy, and
Oh my God.
not Dora Milaje.
Mommy, just that richness of it all.
Listen, Joy Reid said, "I have jurisdiction wherever I find myself to be." And where she was is in Tuckham's brain, where she has a 99-year lease, and she is living and kicking her vibranium spear through his frontal lobe 24/7. If Joy Reid came on with a bald headpiece tomorrow with some tribal markings on it, I'd be like, yes, go on, Ayo.
Right,
Joyo. That's right. Get you a red dress, Joyo, and get in his ass.
Right, because he thought he was Captain America.
See
what happened to him?
No, he thought he was John Walker.
Yeah, he thought he was John Walker. Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America.
She
But
ain't even
nah.
on serum. She's just
Okay.
living her life.
Now see,
Boy,
this
Reed,
is
you are a national treasure,
Dana Cunningham trying to flex.
ma'am.
Look, I think Nikki Shedrick is over there having an aneurysm.
She over here doing the most. I love it.
Right?
Nikki's like,
find out
if you
in
don't
11
save
different
this
text
slide,
messages.
if you don't, she has put it in about 8 different entries.
Yeah, she's on his
Ma'am, we ain't about to put all that up there.
She's like, when are y'all gonna shout out my line? Bless her heart.
He got John Wick. Yes, that is one way to put it. If we want to, because I saw this mentioned in the thread, lots of people are calling on Oprah to try to fix it for Bill Gates and his wife of 27 years.
No, son. No.
it's-
What they need to be worried about is all people trying to do. Hey, big head.
Right.
Bill Gates right now. His DMs is lit. Y'all.
Lit.
They on fire. They on fire.
First of all, Bill Gates could launch a new dating platform just for his own ass. And it has 17 million subscribers tomorrow.
Right.
So you're talking about Donald Trump doing a blog page. Bill Gates is getting whatever he wants.
But
And
did you love-
to buy Island all on her own right now too? And so I've seen the videos talking about Sugar Mama loading right now. Like she out there throwing money, people dancing for her. They hitting her up like, hey, I wouldn't treat you right. He may have rebooted, but I'm here to stay, and I got your hard drive right here. They were talking bad shit.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
did you see? Wait, I'm going to pull it up. You guys keep talking, but they have one of those memes of Future. You know how Future be
Yes.
doing the gaslighting memes?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That killed me.
Yeah, so where is it? Carla's like, why fix them? Look, they clearly had a predetermined arrangement. Said if they ever,
Yes, they did.
I was looking at each other, they were like,
Yes,
what?
they
Look,
did.
Look. Mature relationships can work out terms in a way that doesn't have to feed the thirst of the general
Right.
public.
Right.
I loved when they said, in a swoop of his pen, she became a billionaire overnight.
Yup.
I mean, but she was already.
Right. So I said, but I understand she's an independent billionaire now.
That's right.
But there is so much civility. As they said, their separation agreement was already drawn up.
Right.
All they had to do was ink the transfer of funds.
Right. And notice that they did not refer to it as some sort of prenup. It was a separation agreement. They knew when they got married, this shit might not work out. And you already rich, so let's just make sure we get all this straight. And I know there's been some talk around the other.
She was
the
there
other
from day
chick
one.
had
There's a difference.
long term.
Yeah, she's not a side chick. She's a first chick.
She
a first chick.
She day one chick though.
Right.
Asked her if she thought it was a good idea for him to marry Melinda. And she was like, yeah, y'all would be great together. I'll see you next year.
That's called
They worked that out.
That's called a mature relationship.
Like there's cheating and there's informed consent. And so clearly his wife knew that he was having these emotional vacations with his previous girlfriend. There's questionable whether they actually was getting or not. But there's questionable. And so they talk about long walks and reading books and doing research together. They had a love affair of the mind. And they went out and once a year and kind of just hung out and did mind stuff.
You said mind stuff.
Mind stuff.
Same time next year.
And then he had a home pass. And then he come back home
next year.
So here's the thing: he's not a cheater if he's not cheating on the agreement.
Right.
And so if that's a part of the agreement.
It was the same chick.
Because that's sanctioned.
Okay. So here's the future meme, which it tickled me. Seeing Bill and Melinda Gates not excel at their relationship has me like, word. I wish our windows weren't closed, but you made it a PowerPoint to stay away. Here's hoping your future has a better outlook.
That was so hot.
That is the nerdiest shit.
Yeah.
That's so hot.
Yes.
You stupid.
So,
I'm sorry, that was funny to me.
That was hilarious.
It was funny to me too, Tom.
Thank you.
I got you, boo.
Since we've been off the chain tonight, I know we pulling up on 2 hours, and so we're probably gonna get out of here soon. But it's something I want to show. It's unrelated to anything else that's happened tonight. But we have our little y'all segment, so this is what I'm putting under y'all. And I like this video because this man is how every marginalized person feels sometimes. Sometimes you just had damn enough, and you sick of it, and you over it. And you know what? Tell your supervisor, I don't give a damn. I don't even like this job. But when you get to that point, it's a beautiful thing.
That many of you are still at home, but if you are heading out this weekend, there is some weekend construction you need to be aware of.
Our new traffic anchor, Anavid Reyes, has a look at this weekend's traffic.
Yes, Veronica, we are out here live. We're at exit 57 on I-24 East. If you're looking at traffic, don't expect too many delays. As you can see out here, things look to be moving along just fine. Over my left shoulder, you can see some minor road construction in the area, but that hasn't affected things much this morning. And oh, by the way, just real quick, my name is pronounced Anavid, not Anavid. So if I'm going to come out here and do these live traffic reports and literally risk my life, I'd appreciate if somebody back in the studio could learn how to pronounce my name.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got it, Anavid.
Yeah.
And what's it look like southbound?
I mean, just like in the grand scheme of life, think about what we're doing right now. I'm doing a live traffic report on television. This traffic report is going to be obsolete in 3 minutes. I mean, I know I have a report that there's construction in the area, obviously, as you know, but there's a wreck about a mile ahead. And so this is going to be, all this traffic is going to be changed in literally about 60 seconds. So
it looks like you've got an inside source on that wreck. Have you been in contact with the police chief?
Have I talked to the police chief? No, I have not. I've actually just literally looked on Google Maps, and every time you guys send me out here for a live traffic report, I literally just look on Google Maps. Oh, look, traffic. I look on Google Maps and report to you what I see here. And I don't know if you guys knew this back at the station, but every person in America has access to this.
Well, it looks cold. And it sounds like you may have woken up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah, I don't know, or woken up on the wrong side of the bed, or most people are still in bed because no one's watching the local news for traffic. Like in terms of figuring out the best route to work and traffic patterns, I can think of off the top of my head 57 other ways to do this more efficiently. Google Maps, Apple Maps, Bing Maps. My Uncle Ricky still has a TomTom. You can plug the address into that. I don't know. Go to a truck stop and rent a CB and talk to one of these truck drivers. He could probably tell you a better way to know what the traffic is. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why.
Thank you, Anavid.
I went working so much this week. I didn't have a chance to catch up. I saw the first episode.
I swear I thought a tractor trailer was going to hit him at the end.
That dude doesn't care. That dude's like, whatever, y'all.
He's just going to get smacked.
First of all, why did that producer let that go on for so long? Like, I guess Anavid...
The producer probably sick of his shit, too.
Listen. I mean, when he went all the way in, and he's going to be going all the way to the unemployment line. That's why the jobs report is so shitty, because Anavid... I don't know why you do that, but He's gonna go all the
went off.
The jobs report is bad because a Navid is unemployed as well, and they kept it going. He did not cur.
If I'm gonna be out here on the side of the damn road doing traffic, the least you can do is pronounce
my name right.
Pronounce my name right. I was like,
that was the bomb.
It was.
Oh, this is a bit?
Boo!
Oh,
okay.
That's why it went on so long.
You know what? I don't care because
it was a good skit. Yeah, it was a good skit.
You should have watched the skit that came on after that one.
Integrity. I just saw something that I thought was hilarious, and I'm like, I'm about to play it. And so they're probably going to
find the best ones.
Thank you, Sharpie.
You always find the best ones, Joy. Always.
Thank you, Sharpies.
But it still represents how we probably have all been feeling. You know, burnout is a real thing.
It is.
People out here just, you know, I got friends coming to town this weekend, and I told you, liquor and junk food, because we need a release. And we can't get out the country. At least now that we all vaccinated, we can leave. We could probably, hopefully, leave now. But you haven't been able to escape your life for whatever it may be for like 16 months. And so some people just like, you know what? I've had it. And I can absolutely imagine somebody being like, you know what we're not going to do today is pronounce my name wrong. Okay, that's what we're not doing today. And then just lose it from there. Because I've been there before where I'm like, you know what? I've been this close to quitting my job on the spot like 2-3 different times. And it wasn't going to be, I respectfully resign. It was going to be a whole ass showing when I quit that job. Like I was ready to risk it all just to get it off my chest with a couple of people. Right. And so I feel him. He represents me.
Well, what I will tell you, if I may be allowed to make a philosophical contribution to Hot Girl Fluckery that's about to go down this weekend with you, they have 3 flavors of Oreos that I would encourage you to try. They have a Java chip Oreo, which is very grown up. They have a coconut caramel Oreo, which is very similar in flavor profile to the samosas.
Love those.
The Samoas, whatever those things are, the Girl Scout cookies. And then they do have a chocolate hazelnut, which is very, very Nutella adjacent. And so if you want to go with just the plain lard, creamy white filling, is fine. But if you want some grown-up flavor profiles, there's 3 different Oreos that you can definitely bring to the party that will be satisfying.
With all the talk about Daddy Dick today, what I don't want is creamy white filling. Okay?
Hell! We are going to hell! Hell is where we are going. And I can't think as soon as Chuck comes back, we can sign off. Cause I'm not gonna be the only daddy on this show with creamy white filling as the last taste in people's mouths.
And then you said the last taste in people's mouths. This is how this show is going tonight.
It's after dark, folks.
It is after dark, and I am Tom Cunningham.
Check your phone, Tom. Hold on.
Wait, hold on. My phone?
My God.
Well, I turned the phone off during the show.
Well, turn it back on.
Hold on. Wait, you sent a photo.
I don't feel like I should have to do this.
Wait, hold on.
Check your text.
You sent a text?
Yes, dear.
And I'm not even drinking.
Exactly.
You need an iPhone device that pops up on my computer.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, because I can't. It's not coming up, Sharon. I'm sorry.
Happy Mother's Day to all the Sharpies. And, you were signing off with Tom.
No, you're right. I forgot. You're right. I forgot.
Now you can take it over so I don't have to wish myself a Happy Mother's Day.
I would like to wish Happy Mother's Day to the first Sharpie in my life, Dana Cunningham, without whom I would not be here to talk all of this foolishness. And also to the mother of my 3 childrens, Catherine Bailey Cunningham. Happy Mother's Day to both of you. I love you, Mommy. I don't know if I love you enough to buy you them Philip Ashley chocolates that neither of us should be eating. But we can talk about that later. I'll call you about that. Love you, Mommy. Mwah.
Happy Mother's Day to all the Sharpie mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to me. And now we can sign off, Tom.
No, all of us need to be talking about our moms. You're a brand new Jack and Jill mom.
I shouldn't have to be talking about myself. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I love you.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, mine and everybody else. Good good night, everybody. It's bedtime.
Happy Mother's Day.
Chuck said, F y'all. I'm tired.
All the mothers out there. You know what, y'all? Look, stop talking over me. I want to say my piece. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and to all the would-be mothers. And I want to say to all the people, all the aunties like myself who don't have kids but have absolutely influenced young people's lives. You know, not Mother's Day to you because I'm not going to, do that. But I see you aunties. I'm representing for the auntie land over here. And I also want to say a shout out to my mother who is deceased, but I know that she is somewhere cussing somebody out in heaven over reneging right now because that's how she was. So I learned it honest from her. If there's not Jack Daniels in heaven, my mother is not there. I'm just going to tell you. She went to find it.
Thank y'all. God bless and good night.
Good night. Love y'all.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang with steel sharpened steel.